all our Upasakas and Upasikas. Please take your seat. Sorry for little late because just now we finished one course in Kannada language. Just we finished a few minutes back only. That's why we went here and there for the session. So dear Upasakas and Upasikas, now this is the third session that we are having with our respected Ajahn Sujin, and this is especially for very close discussion that you can have. So what I feel is better you come a little closer, closer to her, sit near to her, and you can ask. Yeah, that is much better. Come. Those who sit on the bench can be there. Even for them, if chairs can be provided, that would be very nice. So that I hope the sound system will work properly now. But if it doesn't work, then you are close by, so you can hear. So, shall we begin, Ajahn? Shall we begin? So I request Ajahn to begin, but before that, I request Ransvita, assistant. I request you to give small introduction. Most of them were there yesterday and today morning. Most of them were present already, but maybe few are new ones.
Is to discuss it. So we talk as not as teacher or student in that way, but we should talk to gain understanding. And without understanding, there is just words, just text. And it doesn't mean much because it should be the way of life. Therefore, in the past almost 70 years that Ajahn has been giving a Dhamma discussion, and today is a good day that for all of us to start to do the same. And it's your opportunity now. I know some of you still have questions, and we welcome any questions. So please start. I'll give you a microphone if you want. Anyone who want to open?
Yeah, I am Professor Ramchandra, working in the Maharanis College, and let us discuss these Attakalapa, 8 subatomic particles in animate and inanimate things. Attakalapa, okay, subatomic particles in Abhidhamma. In Abhidhamma, Attakalapas, Attakalapa, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu, Vanna, Gandha, Rasa, Oja, in animate matter and inanimate things.
Sorry, I didn't hear the full thing. You were talking about Kalapa with the different rupas that make up a Kalapa. And they are uh, subatomic particles. Right. Um, and why you use the word subatomic particle?
As discovered by Buddha, from the dust, small dust to aeroplane, everything is made up of the Atta Kalapas, Dasa Kalapas, Nava Kalapas we have, and the Kalapas in human being, Kalapas in this mic. How do they function? What is the role? Okay, that is the, let us discuss on those lines. Third chair.
Do you want to, are you saying that you want to understand the concept of Kalapa? What it is? What is the meaning of Kalapa? Would you like to understand? Inanimate, you mean, which is Rupa, non-living. And Kalapas of Rupa conditioned by different conditions in living beings and non-living beings, like the Kalapa that's there and the Kalapa that's here. So you want to understand about this more. Discuss about Kalapa.
How many Kalapas here? It's only one Kalapa. Kalapa.
Not how many Rupa, how many Kalapa. Kalapa.
And what are the primary Rupas? There are 8 Rupa in Kalapa. So we talk about Rupa from the very beginning, the reality which arises but cannot experience the object at all. Like hardness, it cannot experience anything, but the reality which experience it. So the hardness appear without touching. Hardness cannot appear at all. So when we talk about Kalapa, we just talk about the Rupa, not the Chitta, not Chittasika, not the reality that experiences the object. So now, the Kalapa, one Kalapa is so very tiny because any Rupa, which is now can be chopped up, break up into very tiny atom. No matter how small or how tiny it is, it must have at least 8 rupa as a kalapa. So different kalapa because of some kalapa composed of 8 rupa and some more than 8. That's why there are different kalapa. The rupa conditioned by kamma. The rupa is conditioned by chitta. The rupa conditioned by utu, temperature. And the rupa conditioned by ahara. The ahara conditioned rupa, which is the rupa which cannot be conditioned by kamma. Each one has its own cause or condition for its arising. So at moment of speaking, is there any rupa?
Yes.
Yes, I now begin to understand the face. This is yes again. So this moment or any moment, there must be rupa. When it's not the human being or any being, how many rupas, how many kalapa in a rupa? How many rupas in a kalapa?
Yeah, 8 rupa
8 rupa only.
only.
But the kalapa condition Dhamma, how many rupas? The kalapa which is conditioned by kamma,
Nine.
only 8 as usual.
No, this Purisa Itti Bhava and Purisa Bhava is combined. Bhava Rupa.
It depends on what group is there.
Yes. Therefore 8.
There must be Chivitindriya Rupa as
Jivitindriya,
well.
Chakku.
That's why even the tiny group, there must be at least 8
8.
Rupas together. And the other groups conditioned by Chitta or Kamma have more Rupa.
8.
And what about the Kalapa, which is conditioned by Utu?
8.
8. See? And Ahara,
4.
the Kalapa conditioned by Ahara,
Ahara.
the food we ate. Condition, a group of Rupa. That's why the body need the Rupa as food to condition the other Kalapas.
Now in animate and inanimate matter,
How
the
many,
speed with which
how,
the kalapas
how many
arises
Rupa,
and vanishes.
how many Rupa in a group which is conditioned by Utu, temperature?
Temperature.
How many Rupas?
8.
8. So now we learn a little more about each different group, each different Kalapa. So which one you'd like to know? Which group?
Me. No, my discussion point is the Rupa Kalapas are arising and vanishing more than lightning speed. More than lightning speed, the Kalapas are arising and vanishing. The speed is immeasurable. So in animate matter like living beings, the speed is different. Whereas in inanimate matter, non-living things, the speed of arising and vanishing, perishing Kalapas are different.
And he has the idea that rupas conditioned by the 4 different conditions rise and fall away not at the same rate. He thinks that rupas conditioned by temperature rise and fall away faster, and rupas conditioned by karma a little slower. Yes.
Living beings.
Yes. So condition.
Inanimate means like this. Okay, my mic.
But
Okay,
are you
this.
saying that the rupas conditioned by this rise and fall away
Yeah,
faster?
Atta Kalapa in inanimate also. Okay, it is rotating.
So what is the question? Can you say again?
See, we have Atta Kalapas in living beings. Atta Kalapas in inanimate matter. Now these Atta Kalapas are arising and vanishing so rapidly in such a fashion that it is not possible to notice. Okay. Now the Atta Kalapas in inanimate matter, okay, the speed with which it arises and vanishes. Okay, if say for example, if I take a chair, what is the lifespan of the chair? Okay, why this Atta Kalapa is also there in the chair? But it destruction takes time. Whereas human being, the Atta Kalapas are arising so rapidly and vanishing, the lifespan is less.
If I understand you correctly, you want to know the lifespan of all things, right? Of rupa. That if the rupa composed all together by the kalapa.
So inseparable. They are
Yes.
Aviniboga, inseparable. Atta kalapas are.
Okay.
That are there in the chair also.
Right.
Atta kalapa. That are
Right.
there in me also.
Right.
Atta kalapa.
Right. So I mean in a thing.
Yeah, thing
And
is
in
called
a
inanimate
human,
matter.
and in the human, right? In a matter. And you want to know that when it's arise and fall and why that this thing probably lasts longer than you. And the human being
So far,
die, right?
comparative.
Okay. Let me explain in the way that I understand, and then I will give it to Ajahn and Sukinji to explain. You see, we are living being as a human. We born because of our kusala vipaka. We patisanti as a human being, right?
Kamma vipaka.
Right. Kama vipaka, right? But this thing doesn't have the patisanti citta.
Yes, yes.
So I think your questions.
No,
It's-
the question, I think so. What I wanted to convey is, you see, Madam, Atta kalapa is there in that bench or not?
Uh-huh.
In the mic which you are holding, Atta kalapa is there or not?
But my point, okay, I got your point. But
No.
the thing is, my point,
Patisandhi is different. That is for living beings.
I know, but then if your point, why do you want to learn something that outside us?
No, it is not outside us.
We are now talking about the reality
Ultimate realities.
which
Okay, chitta, chetasika, rupa,
arises
nibbana.
but
in
cannot
rupa.
experience the object. That's why I understand from the very beginning, the rupa is a reality. It arises, but it cannot experience any object at all, right? And the rupa arises and falls away longer than chitta.
Yes, 17 thought
That's
moments.
why we learn little by little. Chitta arises so very quickly,
Faster than rupa.
very quickly. And the rupa lasts longer than 1 moment of chitta.
Yeah, 17 thought
It lasts
moments.
for 17 moments of chitta arising and falling
Passing.
away. And there are two kinds of rupa, the sabhava rupa and the asabhava rupa. That's why there are 18 sabhava rupa and 10 asabhava rupa.
Nippanna and anippanna.
That's why we have to understand what is what, so we can understand how long it lasts. But any rupa which is real, the reality which has its characteristic, lasts for
Some-
17 moments
Thought
of chitta.
moments.
So chitta arises and falls away quicker than rupa. Is that right?
Pardon? Yeah, that is true. That is true. Okay. ಬಂತೇಜಿ ನಾನು ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ
So
ಅಂದ್ರೆ
now please.
ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಬಂತೇಜಿ. ಇವಾಗ ಅಟ್ಟ ಕಲಾಪಾಸ್ಗಳು ದಶಕಗಳು ಎಷ್ಟು ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರೈಸ್ ಆಗಿ ವ್ಯಾನಿಷ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೈ ದಿ ವಿಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಐಸ್ ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಲಾಪಾಸ್ಗಳು ಅರೈಸ್ ಆಗಿ ವ್ಯಾನಿಷ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಚೇರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಅಟ್ಟ ಕಲಾಪಗಳು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಲೋವಾಗಿ ತಿರುಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ 200 ವರ್ಷಗಳಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಕಾಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಬಂತೇಜಿ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಏನು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸು ಅಟ್ಟ ಕಲಾಪ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸು ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಚೇರಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಅಟ್ಟ ಕಲಾಪಗೂ ಏನು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸು?
Yeah, to put it in simple way, is rupa behaving differently in animate things, living beings, and in non-living things? Is the rupa is changing differently, or is it the same kind of change happening within living things, also in non-living things?
So,
One more thing, according to him, he is telling, in non-living things, the rupa, the particles are changing slowly, and in living things, they are changing maybe fast.
based on the conventional observation that a human being body after death disintegrates very fast compared to, say, the stone, which after hundreds and thousands of years also will still be there. Based on this observation, a question arose in his mind that is it because the rupa conditioned by Uttu, which is in stones conditioned by Uttu, and the rupa which is conditioned by Kamma and Chitta and Ahara rise and fall at different rate.
So now, what did Buddha say? Not our own thoughts, our own idea, but the enlightenment to the truth of Nama and Rupa. We have to learn from head to toe. How many kalapas? From head to toe. How many kalapas?
Yeah, immeasurable.
Okay. So we can talk about different rupas by different conditions. The kama, the rupa, conditioned by kama. How many kinds of rupa, the kalapa, which is conditioned by kama, was different from the kalapa, which is conditioned by utu or ahara or chitta. That's why we learn little by little from head to toe. Some, some kalapa conditioned by kama,
Yeah.
and some kalapas conditioned by utu, and some kalapas
Chitta.
conditioned by ahara, and some kalapa conditioned by chitta. Even chitta can be conditioned for rupa, but
Yeah.
different from the
Four
kalapa,
causes.
which is conditioned by kama. So now, what about the kalapa which has the I base with it?
I base, Kamma.
How many
10,
rupas?
10.
When it's the kalapa with the I.
Yeah.
Yes.
Atta Kalapa,
How many
Jivitindriya,
rupas? How many rupas in that kalapa?
10,
Diff-
10.
What
Once,
are they? What are they? Not just 10, but what are they?
yeah, these Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo, Vanna, Gandha, Rasa, Oja, Jivitindriya, and Chakkuda, Pasada.
Begin to understand the base, the basic, the rupa, which is there.
Patavi.
Eight rupa, right? It arises with each group.
Mm.
No matter it's conditioned by kamma or chitta,
Chitta.
or utu or ahara, there must be 8 rupa.
Correct.
So what more? When it's the I base kalapa,
Jivitindriya.
chivitindriya,
Jivitindriya.
chivitindriya rupa or chivita rupa. What is it?
That is the life faculty. Rupa. Physical life faculty.
Can a tree have such kalapa
Pardon?
with chivitindriya?
Jivitindriya. Navakalapa.
Yeah.
Mardali.
Huh.
Yeah, that is at Utu.
Can a tree have kalapa with a Jivit Indriya Rupa?
Jivitindriya, no.
No.
And the picture?
No.
No. No matter it's a picture of ant or mountain or whatever. How many kalapas are there?
8.
Only 8. That's why it's different, because only the kalapa, which has the I base arising with it, have chivitindriya. That's why looking at the I, human being, and the picture of the I, the picture of the I seems so very, very lively, but in truth, no chivitindriya. Even it looks so much like the real I, but it has only 8 rupa only. But the I, 8, and chivitindriya, 9, and then what else?
Which one?
The kalapa, which has the eye base, how
Ah,
many rupas?
Chakku pasada.
Jakupasada 10. It's different from other part of the rupa at the arm or the finger. That's why learning to understand that how many kalapa, which is conditioned by karma in the
Yeah.
body,
In the body.
whole body. Right?
Kalapas. Body 10. Kaya
Yes.
10.
So from head to toe,
10.
it's
Yeah. The kaya
because
pasada is
of the Jivitindriya rupa is. But the dead body, how many rupas?
dead body atta kalapa.
Many?
Atta kalapa. 8.
Can it be more?
No. Why? Because no jivitindriya. No pasada.
What kind of eight?
Atta kalapa 8. Patavi apo tejo vayo. Vanna gandha rasa vocha.
Only Uttu. The body is the kalapa, which is conditioned by Uttu,
Conditioned by Uttu. Predominantly.
not Kama, not Chitta, not Ahara. What about the dead body and the tree? How many kalapa?
And is there a difference between the rupas of the dead body and a tree?
8.
8.
Then look different.
Yes.
What condition that?
Yeah, this Uttu.
Uttu. Good.
Uttu.
That's why learn about the rupa in order to let go the idea of my body, my hand, my
Yeah.
hair, my face, so on.
I mind myself. Yeah, I have to be. We have to let go.
And how long a group of rupa fall away, arise and fall away? How many moments of citta? Because citta arises and falls away quicker than a group of rupa.
17. 17.
17 moments. Never changed.
Never change. That is chitta viti. Chitta niyama.
The chitta
Chitta
niyama is
niyama,
chitta.
that's-
We're talking about rupa. This is the nature of rupa. All rupa conditioned by uttu, by ahara, or
Four
kama,
causes.
or by chitta, same rate,
Yeah. Kamma
equal to
chitta.
17 moments. So it's same. There or here, rise and fall away equally,
No.
equal rate.
No. Because how come chitta in the tree?
What
No.
if I see my skin or see someone's eye? Does the color that
Yeah. Color.
color
Vanna.
last 17 moments?
Color.
The color of that also lasts 17 moments.
Yes.
Same.
Yes. Correct.
So same rate. Any rupa.
Yeah. Atta kalapa. 17 thought moments.
Yeah. Hardness, softness, touch here. Same. 17 moments of chitta.
Yeah. Ultimate reality.
No
Ultimate-
change. No difference.
Pardon?
So no difference. Rupa there, rupa here. All rise and fall away at the rate of equal to 17 chittas.
Rupa where?
In the stone.
No. Chitta viti.
Whether it is inanimate thing or animate thing, is telling the speed of change of rupa is same. It is whether in living beings it is changing or in non-living beings, it is changing at the same speed. That speed is 17 chittas equal to 1 rupa change.
ಅದು ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಬಂತೇಜಿ?
Even in non-living beings, rupa is rupa everywhere.
ಅದೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಬಂತೇಜಿ ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದ ಇವಾಗ.
ಅದೇ
ಸ್ಪೀಡ್.
ಅದೇ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಅಂತ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಸೇಮ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ರೂಪ ಎವ್ರಿವೇರ್.
ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಾಮೆಂಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆತರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ.
ಯಾವ ಕಾಮೆಂಟ್ರಿ ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ? ನಾನಂತೂ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ.
ನೋಡೋಣ.
We go.
No change. 17 thoughts moment.
Yeah, it is same.
Maybe you have a question in the same vein, why that stone last longer than, say, this carpet. This carpet will disintegrate after a few years, but that stone will stay hundreds of years. So what is the reason? But still the rupa is same. Both are conditioned by utu and equal to 17 moments of chitta. Isn't it? That's the truth. What you are wondering is why we observe, for example, the human body does not last as long as the
Yes,
stone.
yes, yes.
What is the reason for that? You want to know?
Yeah,
Chan, he wants an explanation for for example, that the human body grows old and seems to disintegrate, but that stone, after 10 years also, it looks the same.
What is the truth of what you say about the stone or the carpet or the chair? The same kind of rupa or different kind of rupa? Abjit. Abjit.
see, Patavi is hardness, softness, smoothness, and roughness, whether it is there in the carpet or in the chair or in the human being. See, in the mountain, what is predominant is Patavi is predominant. That means to say the other 7 elements are there. Okay, invariably, inseparable. In sea, the water element is more predominant. Rupa is Rupa. Rupa is Rupa.
He understands that if there's hardness, hardness is hardness. So same. Hardness there or hardness same.
That's why we can understand how many rupas are there. No matter we take a window or hill or ground or fruit, hardness is hardness.
8.
17 moments of citta.
Okay, we will close this. I will give it to next.
Excuse me, that's a next question. Hello, Ajahn. How can Abhidhamma help us to attain arahatship? Please explain.
So, what is arahata?
Chan's question is, what is arahata? I mean, someone can answer instead. For
Someone doesn't, again, is not going to burn again. Complete cessation.
Without condition only. As long as there are conditions, there must be birth, death again and again and again. And in order not to be born again, die again, there must be no conditions anymore for the arising of whatever is citta, cetasika, or rupa. So, without understanding, can there be a very little understanding? Without understanding right now, can there be a little more understanding of who's arahata and who's not arahata? Without any understanding, it's impossible, not just by looking or action, but right understanding is there. Buddha walked for on the street around here. Who knows that he's the enlightened one without words? Truth. For people to understand the truth, not only in his time, but any time, even right now. Once he were here, he thought about the truth, about Rupa and Nama. So the one who understands how deep Dhamma is, listen so carefully that it's not easy at all to realize the truth of the conditioned reality right now arising and falling away. The first Ariya Satya, Dukkha Ariya Satya, that which arises falls away instantly. Is that true? Just a little to a little more to understand who is Arahata, who is Sotapanna, Anagami, Sakatagami, or worldly people. So who are we?
We are Putus Janas on Kalyanamitta.
Until right understanding develops little by little, unknowingly. That's the meaning of anatta. Who knows this moment, how much understanding of what has been heard. But when time comes, it's there instantly by anattanas, the development of understanding condition at very moment to be able to insight the truth of what is there one by one right now.
Yatha Bhuta.
I'd like to just, repeat what Ajahn said to be sure that you understood what she was saying. Basically, her response, the questioner, was that an arahata is, and you said that he's the person who will not be reborn again. John put it in a different way, that it's where there are no conditions to be reborn again, right? And can we understand who the arahat is if there's no understanding of Dhamma? We say we pay respect to the Buddha. Do we know? Can we know the Buddha, who the Buddha was, without understanding his words? No. So, understanding, it is understanding which understands slowly, gradually, stage by stage, know who a Sotapanna is, who a Sakadagami is, Anagami, Arahata. And the path is only about understanding. It's all about understanding, and understanding what? Understanding the reality now. This is the starting point, the beginning and the end of the path, to understand the truth now. And this is most important.
Does any arahata not understand seeing right now? That's not so. No one rising and falling away.
John's question is, does any arahata not understand seeing? No, right? Means that arahata has wisdom, and he would understand seeing.
And what about Sotapanna?
What about Sotapanna? No. Does a Sotapanna understand seeing as it is? May not.
So ignorance cannot be Sotapanna. Ignorance cannot be Sakatagami. Ignorance cannot be Anagami. Ignorance cannot be Arahata.
So Sotapanna would not be a person with yes, he or she is not an arahat, but to reach a Sotapanna, there must be some lot of wisdom, right? Not you won't call a Sotapanna an ignorant person. An ignorant person does not understand seeing, does not understand hearing. But a Sotapanna is not an ignorant person. A Sotapanna must understand.
And does any Sotapanna not understand the path, the way to develop right understanding of seeing, hearing, smelling in daily life. So no doubt anymore about seeing arising and falling away because it has to be directly experienced little by little, stage by stage, from pariyati to condition patipati. And so great patience for patipati to let go little by little until what has been known before appear to be known as it is.
So, what Ajahn is saying is that a Sotapanna will also understand the path to further development of understanding or to reach a Sotapanna. So, to reach Arahata, a Sotapanna also needs to travel the same path. And therefore, for us also, it's the same path. But it's of different levels, starting with Pariyati, Patipati, Pativeda. So, it's the same path for all. For Sotapanna, for us, there's no other path, there's no other way. It's all about understanding.
Have you heard the word parami?
Yeah. 10 paramis, yeah. You heard, na? You heard? Yes. They have heard. Can you say?
Dana Parami. First one, Dana Parami. Second one, Sheila Parami. Sheila. Dana, Sheila, Nekkama, Panya, Virya. 5. Then Kanti, Satcha, Aditana, Metta, and Upeka. Dasa Parami.
Is repeated those 10 correctly. And further question.
Okay. You're talking about dana parami,
Dana Parami.
ordinary life, no understanding of anything at all, just give for the result. It's like just buying the result. Just want the
Expectation.
result to be in return. But dana is not that at all. It's not just buying or wanting to get something from giving without right understanding. What is the real dana? Give away what? Ignorance, no understanding of the truth. Because each moment when it's not kusala, it has to be akusala. Someone asked about paticca and we are talking many times about paticca, but not inward. But when we talk about avijja, ignorance, it's the beginning. Avijja condition sankhara. They no need to just say avijja condition sankhara and sankhara condition vijnana and so on without any understanding at all. But now talking about avijja, isn't it paticca, the beginning of life, of whatever arises, because no understanding of the danger as dukkha, riya satya. That's why we learn to understand that we live in the world of ignorance and wrong understanding. Miccha, ditti, opposite of sammaditthi, the understanding of the truth as it is, from hearing, considering, is the path leading to have firm confidence, adidana parami. Without panya, how can it be firm? Just the word, no understanding. But what we are talking, no matter in terms of paticca or ayatana or khanda, it's right now. When there is the understanding of Dhamma as not self, anatta. Because usually the idea of self is there unknowingly. No need to say that I see, but the I is the moment of seeing already. Asava, idasava, cling to being, to be this person, to see bhavasava, and ignorance, avijjasava. See, so each word of truth conform with all aspects of the teachings. No matter it's about paticca we are talking about avijja, so it's the paticca conditioned sankhara. See, different ideas, kusala and akusala, even parami. It's not just giving without any understanding, it's parami impossible because parami is the wholesome moments which develop in life to have less and less akusala conditioned by avijja, not seeing the danger of avijja, no understanding at all. What is there? No thought about it, no interest in it at all. That's why it begins with Panya Parami. And in order to let go, the cling so very, very deep to the idea of self, it has to be seeing the danger of clinging. That's why anytime for something to be given, because we do not use it for how long and it's still there, it can be with benefit of the other. That's why sati is there. Condition, the idea or the motion or the action of giving away things just for the benefit of the others, nothing in return. And that is parami. But if you think about the result of kusala, do this more and more and more, you'll gain more and more and more. No parami. Because ignorance is there, attachment is there. That's why the teaching is so very subtle from the very beginning. Just the first round is so very, very subtle before it can be the second round. Directly, by condition, aware instantly with understanding of what is there as it has been heard and studied and understood as it is. For example, there is hardness appearing here without understanding, no thought about it as a reality, only a reality, which is hard, not that which experiences it. So no one experiences hardness, only the reality which is conditioned to arise to experience hardness. Just at that very moment, it's time for a karma to condition moment of experiencing hardness with feeling pleasant or unpleasant, whether it's soft or it's hard. See, all are dhammas in a day. And this is only intellectual understanding, the words, the meaning, the truth of what is there. But it's not directly aware of. With right understanding, it is just hardness. So the word does not appear as it is. Begin to understand how much ignorance about whatever is there, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, liking, planning, and so on. Each moment, no one, but different realities. That's why we learn about different jittas, different jetasikas, and different rupas, conditioned by different conditions. Little by little, right understanding at moment of understanding works its way. Little by little, develop sankhara, see, to be more kusala, because seeing the danger of even just a moment of akusala, because at that moment it's the accumulation of akusala. So the more kusala, even in just very few moments, is so very precious because there would be less akusala. And this is parami, panya parami, conditioned moment of giving away things, dana. How many kinds of dana are there?
Ajahn is asking, Ajahn gave a very detailed and very important message about um, the understanding being the leader, understanding it, all the teachings, the whole Buddha's teachings is about understanding. And even starting with, she gave the example of parami. She brought up the topic of the paramitas, the parami, because most people do not understand the importance of parami and what it means. So starting with the idea about dana parami, that just giving without understanding, giving, and worse than that, giving with expectation of result, that cannot be parami. And then she goes on to talk about how in paticca samuppada, avijja conditions sankhara, and sankhara here can be both kusala or akusala, right? So how, because of avijja, there can be bad deeds or good deeds, but it's still in the trap of dependent origination. It's only with understanding that one dismantles that and gets out of this uh, uh, this circle of birth and death, yeah, samsara. So even when we consider parami and what each parami means, it's about, we can see that how important understanding is when we, and how not only the understanding itself, understanding is supported by different qualities, kusla, but not just normal kusla, not just giving without understanding, but giving with the understanding that the danger of ignorance, avijja conditions, sankhara, a understanding with a giving, and when one sees the importance of the paramis, including khanti, adhitana, how these are important and how they can develop only with panya, then we're going on the right track. So we have to go back all the time. We, as newcomers, we all hear about sila, about dana, and everything, but and we think we know, we think we understand. And Ajahn was saying the dana, which is a paramita, is different from just normal dana. So Ajahn then in the end starts talking, raised a question, how many kinds of dana is there? So as to further talk about what dana really is. So that's the question. How many kinds of dana?
Sir, what you have been telling is that in Dasaparami, dana, giving dana with ignorance is not having any effect. The Panya Parami, dana backed by Panya is very useful for attaining the paramis. Dana Parami.
With the
Dana
understanding.
with ignorance, dana with wisdom.
Dana cannot arise with ignorance, but it is conditioned by
Kushala
because
Chitta.
by due to lack of understanding. One gives out of habit, or just kusla arises. I mean, anyone can give dana,
Dana Chitta.
right? Dana chitta can arise. That's kusla, but it's not parami if it is not conditioned
By
by
Panya.
panya. Panya that sees the danger of ignorance, danger of attachment, danger of self. So if there's no understanding, for example, then it becomes my dana. I'm
The-
doing dana, right?
The
So
donor,
that cannot be paramita.
yeah, the donor is also impermanent. The thing which gift we are giving, that is also impermanent. Receiver is also impermanent. With that Panya understanding, we have to make
Yes,
the
Pandya has to understand the truth, right? So and the path is very long, very difficult. So all kinds of kusla, there are a certain kind of kusla that support Pandya, and Ajahn is distinguished between kusla that is parami and that is not paramita. So in order to understand the difference, Ajahn started talk about parami and talked about dana, and is now asking the
dana,
question, how
kinds
many
of
kinds,
dana. Yeah, yeah,
kinds of
that is
dana?
Amisha dana, Niramisha dana, Abhaya dana, Dhamma dana. Very important.
And why do we talk about dana parami? It's just giving away things for the others. Nothing, no expect for any return at all. Even giving away things for the others is not easy, right? And what about giving away the idea of self? Not me. Much more difficult. That's why it has to begin from the very beginning to understand that without the kusala moment, there must be moment of akusala. And the moment of akusala is conditioned by avijja, ignorance. Paticca is the beginning of life endlessly, as long as there are conditions, which is avijja. That's why understanding is the base for all. Kusala, which is parami. At moment of giving away things, that you can give it away for the others, because sati is not there. It's not you who can think about it, but all in a day are different realities. By name, we learn about sati, satta, chanda, and so on. But when it's there, it's not known. That's why we need each word of the Buddha, which taught about reality in every moment, all are dhammas. That's why even at moment of dana, it depends. There is the idea of understanding that giving away ignorance and attachment is much more difficult if there is no uh, Upanishad or what we do very often to be conditioned to be very easily giving things away. It cannot arise because sometimes we think about giving, but no giving. Still like that one object. Look at it. I can use it sometimes. It's not time to give away yet. See, even some moment it begins of just for the other's benefit. We better give it to them. But at moment of looking at it, condition for not giving is there. So even giving away things is not easy at all. And someone, after giving away things, regret. See, I can use that. It's still good for me. See, any moment of akusala because of avijja as paticca is there. So paticca is not the word, but it's real life. Any moment of avijja, it conditions sankhara, kusala or akusala. So at moment of giving, is it paticca right? Is it at moment of giving? Is it paticca as well? Yes. What is that?
What is giving? Which part of paticca samuppada it is? Ajahn asked you, is the moment of giving paticca samuppada? So, it is paticca samuppada, na, giving. So, what is it? It is paticca, alopa is paticca samuppada. So, but it is not avijja. Alopa, giving is not. No. We're not talking about, we're just talking about ordinary giving, ordinary dana.
Yeah, that is kushala chitta, dana chitta,
Hmm.
just giving.
So, it is paticca samuppada.
Paticca samupada, tanaha, we are giving away.
Giving is paticca samuppada or not?
Yes.
It is. Right. And paticca samuppada says avijja, condition, sankhara,
Yes.
right? On and on. So, this giving is which part of paticca samuppada?
Yeah, 12 conditions. It can be linked to tanaha, where
No, giving itself is what? Is it avijja? giving cannot be with avijja,
Yeah, it cannot be avijja. With the panya only, it is possible.
but
And
it is conditioned by avijja.
giving is conditioned by avijja.
Avijja.
Is that so?
Please recite.
Yeah, that is why panya parami also, madam, discussed now.
Please recite Paticca one by one.
Avijja, pachaya, sankara,
Okay. One by one, stage by stage. Avijja condition sankhara.
sankara.
Without avijja, nothing can arise. So, avijja condition sankhara for
Sankhara.
sure. At
Chetana.
moment of giving away things, dana, is it paticca?
This chetana, okay. As
Yes, but what is there in paticca? Just recite it.
Pardon?
Recite again.
Avijja, pachaya, sankara.
Okay. That's that. So, what is moment of giving?
Kushala.
What is said in Paticca? Recite again.
Avijja, pachaya, sankara.
Okay.
Past.
Okay. How many sankharas which is meant by way of Paticca?
How many?
Yes.
Chetana la bante jili.
No.
52.
Punya Pisankhara,
Apunya Pisankhara, Anenja Pisankhara.
Mention that.
Yeah.
So, can there be the understanding at moment of giving that it's Paticca?
Punyabi sankara.
And the moment when there's no giving, no kusla,
Apunyabi sankara.
see, we learn Paticca in words only, but at moment of giving, it's conditioned by avijja. As long as there are still avijja, there must be sankhara, any kind. And we now study Paticca
Yes.
with understanding, not just reciting only.
Analysis we have to make.
You agree this is the right way to study
Yes,
Paticca
yes.
Samuppada,
Yes, yes.
not just recite.
Yeah. We have to understand. And experience also very important.
Can we say understanding has to develop more and more?
Yes, yes.
Mahabodhi, Ajahn. My knowledge of theory is very limited, but as a common man, can you please explain me? Every time there is kushala that arises, that is when we do dana. Okay, that is what is my understanding. We do with happiness, lot of happiness that we want to do. Now, dana with panya, what is that particular part of it? Can you give it with an example, saying ki whenever we go out and we see someone with some difficulty or someone in need, we just say, okay, we have it, we are doing a dana to them. That's the only idea that we have. Now, what can you take it in a little bit more elaborate way and explain in simple terms?
He's asking about dana. When we talk about dana, he understands that when it's a kusla chitta, that a moment of giving somebody things or help or whatever, that is he has that much understanding that that is dana. But when you just talked about dana with panya, can you give an example of that?
How many kinds of dana?
Jan, I started with the definition that my knowledge of theory is zero.
Giving things away, misadana, for the sake or benefit of the others, and forgiveness, abhayadana. See, is it more difficult to forgive? Or is it easy? Someone say, I will not forgive until I die. Keep it such long time. What is the benefit? No understanding. See, and it's not dana. So giving away, not killing, say, life or what other in somebody's life, abhayana, abhayadana, no matter what he has done, it's his own akusla, punya pisankhara. But for us, it should be punya pisankhara, forgive, because they don't understand the condition for such deeds, which is so very dangerous. And when time comes, what about the accident? We pity those who in such situation, but why for, but why you pity so late, not at moment when he does something wrong or he did what he has done that condition the moment of ill fortune. That's why abhayadana for everyone, no matter how wrong he did to you or to the other or to the country or whatever. Is it possible? What is better? What is the teachings of the Buddha? Have more ill deeds, ill speech, or more kusala until no condition for whatever arises anymore. So the way to pay great respect to him is to study Dhamma so carefully, not to hurt him, because the body, the Buddha's body, is the teachings of the truth. Don't destroy it. That's why anytime the third Dhamma is greater than all Dhamma or Dana, Dhamma Dana, having, sharing, understanding with the others, the best gift in life, in samsara, because it would be enrooted from moment to moment, not to go wrong, to have firm confidence of this moment. It's conditioned. Without the eye base, there is no seeing right now. Without the ear base, there's no hearing right now. All are by conditioned.
Here, Ajahn, just to extend the question. So now, when someone does something wrong to us, or we think it is wrong to us, we just say, okay, he's done that, forgive him there and there and move forward. So now that becomes a kushala kama or that becomes a parami. Because here we've not pondered over it, we've not thought over it. It's just a momentary decision that is taken. Ki, oh, he's done it, it's okay. Just leave it there and then. So
It
how?
depends. It depends. But Ajahn is what Ajahn was just saying was showing by way of the four different kinds of dana that the easiest is when you give material things. It's easy. It's little more difficult when you forgive, right? The motivation behind this forgiving is it can be because of understanding the danger of attachment, the danger of ignorance, and the danger of all kinds of akusal, right? So that that is just to show that it's different levels of dana conditioned, some by not at that not necessarily at that moment there can be panya, but because of the accumulated of panya, giving also more opportunity for to rise under different conditions, different occasions. Then Ajahn talks about the highest kind of dana, which is Dhamma dana. So only someone with understanding sees, appreciates Dhamma, appreciates the value of Dhamma, and would give that thing. So that's just an example to show that uh, the kind of different kinds of dana, different levels of dana, and what can be parami. So a person with understanding can give material things also with the understanding that the, about danger of ignorance and attachment, right? Then the dana is more pure, and there's less likely that such a person will take it for my dana, I'm giving or expecting result. So it's different qualities, and that's what Ajahn is distinguishing between dana, which is without understanding, and dana, conditioned by understanding. Only the one conditioned by understanding can be a support for the development of the path.
Now, dana done just naturally. There is no I involved over there, or there is no. We don't know whether there is conditioning or no conditioning over there. It just naturally arises, and the dana is done. So that becomes a kushala kama, or that becomes a parami.
If it's kusla, kusla is kusla. Cannot be a kusla, cannot be
Not
vipaka.
akushala. Does it become a parami?
Uh, that's what I'm saying. It's you'll find people giving dana everywhere, of all who believe in Dhamma, who understands Dhamma or not. Everyone gives dana. So, what do you think? Can the dana of an ignorant person who does not understand Dhamma become a parami?
It could have been his past good deeds that is making
Out
him
of
do that.
habit, habitual tendency, there
Yes.
is. Like, I have a tendency to also give and help people, but always without any understanding, right? So it can be sometimes with understanding, sometimes without. So, but there can be out of habit. Some people are very generous, but if they hear the Dhamma, they don't appreciate at all. That's also possible, isn't it? So, can that be paramita?
That is something that Ajahn has to clarify to me, because what my this one is, when naturally it comes, like the way you gave your own example, it is naturally an habit. You're doing it time
Out of
and again
habit.
out of habit,
Out of
and
habit.
because it brings you happiness also. Because when you're doing
That's
it,
That's what you're seeking. Sometimes behind all that is because you've every time you've given, you've been happy, so you want to do it again because you want to be happy.
it naturally arises. It's
Yes,
not that we,
it naturally is for Puthajanas, for all of us. But that is not paramita.
so for it to become a paramita,
It cannot become paramita. We say that dana, which is paramita,
hmm,
must be conditioned by can be past understanding or now. Not taking the dana for self.
so that is what I want to understand with an example, saying, okay, past understanding, I understand, but in present, when someone is doing a dana, what is it that has to be understood before doing a dana, so that it becomes, I understand that self should not be involved in it.
He's heard you talk about how there can be dana conditioned by understanding. So he's wondering about, can you give an example of a moment of dana, giving somebody something which is paramita, which is with understanding?
Understanding can arise anytime. Even at moment of giving away things, it depends on condition, but it's enrooted as the seed. It needs water and other things to make it grow, not just no condition at all to grow, and it can grow. Even right understanding today, it needs more words to understand, to let go ignorance and understand a little more. So today we understand avijja, condition sankhara, right? Go on, please. From avijja, condition sankhara,
Sankara Pachaya Vinyana.
what is that? Patisantichitta. So it's the link from the past to the present. Avijja in the past and sankhara, the karma in the past, kusala karma or akusala karma, condition the birth consciousness in this life. See, on and on and on, as long as there's still avijja and sankhara, there must be birth. And before this, there must be seeing right now, hearing, smelling, again and again, from day to day, from moment to moment. That's all. And then all forgotten when death is there. No more this person. So the nama rupa as this person never arise again. The new one, conditioned by what is done in this life, kusala or akusala, to condition the vijnana, which by way of paticca it means the patisantichitta, but includes any kind of vipaka, vijnana, to kusala or akusala.
Thanks, Ajahn.
Is there any question?
Dana as punya, dana as parami. That is what his question is. Dana as punya, dana as parami. Question.
Is you want to know the difference between dana, which is parami, and not parami.
There is right understanding now, and then it's forgotten in the evening or out of this room, right? But right understanding is not lost. It's still enrooted, depending on conditions, whether it arises or not. So at moment of giving away things, there can be understanding at that very moment, depending on the degree of understanding, whether it's directly understand the reality as it is, as itself, or just think about what conditions such this or that person in need. Why people are different. So giving away things like someone gives something for our benefit when time comes in need, exactly the same. Is that understanding and no understanding at all? So no expectation what level of right understanding can arise depending on condition. When Panya developed to the high degree understanding clearly about this moment, it's much more difficult because the attachment is so very, very fine, on and on and on. Just like a strand of hair cover or hide the truth. It's one strand. There's the avijja until no even one strand of hair. So clear. That's why Panya develops on and on and on, higher and higher, clearer and clearer, keener and keener, sharper and sharper. Much more difficult than what is now heard. Much more. That's why understanding why there must be parami for all who can become enlightened, even the Bodhisattva as Pacceka Buddha or Samma Buddha or Savaka. See? So now, who knows when will be that moment? No one can imagine, but be true to each moment how much understanding or seeing right now. So no doubt about how can there be understanding at moment of giving, everything's done, or for letting go with understanding the truth. Much more subtle, much more. On and on and on. When Panya is there, keen enough to experience the truth of just one reality, it's so subtle because Lopa and Avijja has been accumulated quite how great it is to arise anytime. Even Panya at that moment is very keen and Citta is so clear. It can be object of attachment. And the word for that moment is Nekanti. Even Panya can experience that object so clear, but as long as one strand of hair still hide the mountain, only that part.
Is it okay if we go up to 4 and stop? Is it too much for Achan or? Huh?
greatest happiness is to share Dhamma.
Okay.
She's never tired.
So Upasaka, Upasikas is okay. 4 o'clock. We go up to 4, huh?
I'll keep it very brief. Thank you so much, Ajahn. You asked us about Manisikara this morning, and I want to check my understanding, and please correct me. So what I understand is when, let's say, you are going to have Sankara, and before you, you're going to have Vedana. Before Sankara arises, it is as if the mind consciousness arises, about to arise, it's about to contact the thought. And right before it contacts the thought, that the manasikara. And if we apply equanimity right there, then thought will not arise. But please correct me.
It's an idea I've never heard before, what you just expressed. Can you repeat again for Ajahn to hear?
Sure. My idea of manasikara could be totally wrong, is that between so let's say you have a Vedana in the body. So, as part of the Pancha Upadana, before Sankara arises, right before it arises, it is as if a small intention happens. What that means is the mind consciousness is reaching out, about to touch the thought, but it doesn't quite do so. And that very circumstance is the manasikara. And if we apply equanimity right there, then the thought will not arise. And so that's how we avoid the arising of sankhara.
ใช่แต่ว่าที่เขาพูดเหมือนกับว่าจะไปบังคับบัญชาให้หยุดหลังจากเวทนาแล้วว่าเราไม่ให้เกิดสังขารไม่ให้ไม่
My friend, you are asking about Manasikara or Yoniso Manasikara? Which one you are asking? Two things are there, Manasikara and Yoniso Manasikara. Yoniso Manasikara.
Again, just one reality.
First, there is Vedana.
Oh, are we not talking about Vedana or Sankhara or Manasikara? Just one word, one reality at a time.
Okay. So, Manasikara, for me,
Only
the
Manasikara.
only Manasikara
Okay.
is when
Is it a reality?
nothing is reality. But it is also a reality too.
What Ajahn usually encourages us, sometimes we think a lot and we ask questions that we think, for us it feels important and
Yes.
relevant.
Yes.
But Ajahn quickly realizes and points out to us that we are talking a lot of words without understanding.
Yes.
And our habit is not to understand and try to understand or be interested in understanding each word, each reality. We talk about Vedana and then we go on to Manasikara and all that. But do we understand, for example, Vedana? So should we not understand each one correctly and first find out whether we know what we're talking about?
It's true. Actually, we don't, I want to give more time for the
We
others.
don't talk about our own thoughts. We just talk about what Buddha said.
Yes.
What did he say? Did he say anything about Manasikara? So, not our own idea, but what did Buddha say about Manasikara? So we learn to understand the truth of Manasikara and all Dhammas, that each one is so very, very subtle, beyond imagination, beyond anyone can expect about even just one reality. right now as seeing, no understanding of seeing, even there is seeing all the time. That's why what did Buddha say about seeing? What did he say about manasikara? Not our own idea. So what is manasikara? Is it a reality?
Manasikara is a reality, one of the 7 universal Chetasikas. Sabba Chitta Sadharana, the
Okay.
7th one.
So no understanding of
Chetasika.
manasikara. Let's talk about other chetasikas again.
Attention. Manasikara is attention.
Little by little, carefully. Is manasikara a reality?
Yes.
How do you know?
Oh, in Abhidhamma, out of
Without the
52
words of the
Chetasikas, we
Buddha,
have 7 universal Chetasikas.
even there is manasikara, no understanding of manasikara as manasikara. It's I all the time.
Yes.
At moment of attachment, I like it. I again. So manasikara arises with each moment of citta. If Buddha didn't say that, how can we begin to consider the manasikara arises with any moment, each moment, not vedana, not sanya, but it is manasikara, only manasikara, a reality which has its own characteristic, its own quality, and its own function.
Manifestation.
That's why we don't talk about other things. Just learn to understand manasikara a little more, a little more. Even it's there now.
What Ajahn is saying is that, like, for example, seeing, it's happening all the time, but there's no understanding. We always take it for my seeing. I am the one who sees. It's only after hearing the Dhamma can we know that seeing is a reality, not me. So similarly with Manasikara, it arises with almost with all chittas. And every time it arises, many times it arises, it appears, but it's taken for I'm the one who's aware, who's attending, who's paying attention. No understanding about the reality of Manasikara itself. It's only after hearing the Buddha do we understand that it's a reality. So that's why Ajahn says we don't go according to our own ideas, but we are here to understand what the Buddha taught about Manasikara, for example, or seeing. And that's the only way to understand the truth, the reality. So here we are trying to understand Manasikara, and Achary's question is this Manasikara, after hearing the Dhamma, you correctly answered that, is it a reality? You said yes, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't know. If you didn't hear the Dhamma, you wouldn't know that it's a reality, even at this level, right?
Is Manasikara attention need to be understood in 4 ways. The Sabhav, characteristic of Manasikara, and also the function of Manasikara, manifestation of Manasikara, and the proximate cause for the arising of Manasikara, as told by Buddha. So, like that, we have to understand in 4 ways: the characteristics, function, manifestation, and the proximate cause. Then only we can say it is a reality. And as told by Ajahn, that should be yatha bhuta jnana darsana with panya. Okay, otherwise it is not, simply it is a word, that's all, as you rightly pointed out.
So we learn little by little, stage by stage, from the very beginning. Manasikara is a reality. It experiences the object, but not as citta, because the other from citta must be mental factors or cetasika, because no matter it is right understanding or ignorance, it cannot be that which experience the object clearly, just the object. So now we're talking about the cetasikas which arise with citta, each citta. So you talk about Asa, Vedana, Sanya, Cetana, Ekakata, Chivitindriya, and Manasikara. Don't talk about Phasa or Vedana or Sanya. We just talk about Manasikara. Even it's there now, it does not appear to be known. That's right, it cannot be known until it appear. And even when it appear without understanding, it cannot be known as it is, as not self. For example, anger, attachment is there in a day. No understanding that it's not me or it's not anyone. It's just a reality different from each other. Lopa cannot be dosa. So lopa cannot be manasikara. Is that right?
Lobha cannot be manasikara. When Lobha Chitta arises, the Lobha Chetasika should be there,
Yes.
Manasikara should be there.
One by one, stage by stage, little by little.
Manasikara. Yes,
Can
Manasikara.
Lobha be Manasikara?
Yes, yes.
Lobha be, not with, not
Not
be
with, Lobha
Be.
with.
Be. I'm not saying
Alone.
be with. I'm not saying be with. Can Lobha be with Manasikara? Yes.
Yes.
But can Lobha be Manasikara?
No, cannot be.
Cannot be.
That's right. Just listen carefully and then understand the question and consider what's the answer and just answer the question. So we can go on deeper and deeper of that one reality, not about the other things. So is again, is Manasikara real? Is it real? Okay. What reality is it?
Reality, attention towards the object. Object.
And didn't say what's the characteristic or function. What reality? What kind of reality it is?
Chetasika it is.
Okay, one by one, little by little, very gradually. So Manasikara is
Chetasika
Chetasika. Can it remember?
cannot. Sanya can remember.
Not the answer.
Can I say from my own
Cannot.
experience? Can I say from my own experience?
Yes, sir.
I have a problem of not paying attention very well. And Ajahn has been very patient with me for more than 20 years because I like to
20
interrupt.
years.
But lately she has been emphasizing because this is a question of studying Dhamma. A question of studying Dhamma and the Buddha's words, which are very precious. So it's very important to pay attention to each statement correctly, not start thinking in our own so many things, right? So, and also to save time and also for the benefit of your own benefit and for everyone's benefit, the question, understand the question and give answer according to the question. So if Ajahn is asking you, is Manasikara a reality? Does it remember? No. You don't have to go on and say, only Sanya remembers. That's not part of the answer, right? It's our habit. We do it.
So please have the new habits. Listen carefully. That is meant by listening. And by then you begin to understand Manasikara little by little. Right? Without Manasikara to the question, that cannot be the right answer. So begin to understand what Manasikara is. Not just is that and then and that, but the way it is there in life. That's why learning to be truthful to the truth, Satya Parami, begins to develop at moment of understand the question, Satya to the question, and the answer, the Satya of the answer, just the answer, not the other things. So, is there now Manasikara?
Now, really, we have Manasikara now.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Does it appear to be known?
Yes. Yeah, as Chetasika, it should
No, right now, does it appear?
appear.
Does concentration appear? Does sanya appear? Does phasa appear right now? There is phasa, but does
Yes.
it appear?
Yes, yes. No, no, one at a time.
No, no. Does it appear? So you're saying right now manasikara is appearing.
Yes.
Is now Manasikara appearing?
Appearing.
Never. Not yet, not yet, not
No,
yet.
I am concentrating on
Because there must be only one object at a time.
one object at a time.
So there is seeing right now with Manasikara, but seeing does not appear and Manasikara does not appear. Only that which is seen now appearing. Is that true? Not Manasikara, not any Cetasika, not even Chitta. Even is there all the time. And Manasikara is also all the time.
One
But
at a
as
time.
long as it does not appear yet, how can it be understood? How can it be studied? But we learn the first round of Arya Satya, intellectual understanding about Manasikara, about Chitta, about Cetasika. The first round is not the direct understanding with awareness of its characteristic of Manasikara or any reality by conditions. So now, be truth, Satya Bharami. Okay. What kind of reality is Manasikara? To be Satya, direct understanding of the question.
Pardon?
The chance question is again because she encourages us to be truthful to the truth. So the question, she's repeating the question: what kind of reality is manasikara?
Reality.
What kind of reality?
Yeah, it goes with Kushala and Akushala. Attention.
What kind of reality?
Chetasika. It is a Chetasika.
Be true to the truth, to the question and the answer. Is it, can it remember? Can Manasikara remember?
No.
Can it feel?
Can?
Feel.
No.
Can it, what else? Contact Pasa?
No.
That's why. Does Pasa appear now?
No.
Right. Because what appears now is only that which is seen.
Yes.
Right. Because now that it's seeing. But seeing itself, feeling itself, sanya itself, manasikara itself, does not appear to be known yet.
Yes.
That's why we learn about it, the differences between each one. So when it appears one day, no doubt about it, because of very firm understanding at level of intellectual understanding, is there to know what is there. That's why it needs the intellectual understanding firmer and firmer to condition moment of understanding what is there now. Madness. It can be object of understanding of rupa or nama, which experience the object. Is there manasikara at moment of touching?
No. No.
The
Touch.
question is there manasikara at the moment of touching?
That is Passa.
Will be there, right?
Potential.
Yes.
We just recite how many cetasikas arising with seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. But at this moment, right understanding is there. There must be 7 cetasikas arising with moment of touching. And the moment before touching and moment after touching, are there 7 cetasikas or more? Yes.
So at the moment of touching, you understand that there are 7 chetasikas. But the chitta before touching and the chitta after touching, are there more chetasikas or less chetasikas than 7? These 7.
Touching universal Chetasika, 7 should be there.
And the chitta which arise before touching,
More
and the
or
chitta which arise after touching, more,
More.
than 7 or less than 7 or 7 only?
before touching
Before touching
and after touching.
and after touching,
After touching, it is more.
more. Before
Before 7.
before
Which-
touching is also 7
Yeah,
chetasikas.
Avajjana Chitta.
Only 7 chetasikas.
Yeah, 7 Chetasikas touching.
Is there manasikara arises with citta before seeing?
Before seeing. In all Chittas, this Manasikara, because it is Sabbat Chitta Sadharana, it should be there in all 89
Means
Chittas.
it is there. Means it is there.
There.
That's your answer.
Thinking about it must be there because there are 7 chetasikas arising and manasikara is one of the 7 that is reciting. It cannot lead to understand directly the way the manasikara is there performing its function each moment. That's why we straight to the question and the answer again.
Next question I would like to ask.
So now we have not yet understanding enough of manasikara, or now we have clear understanding of manasikara, so we can go on to other thing, other reality, other subject. Otherwise, there can not be clear understanding, even intellectual understanding about the difference of all kinds of reality. What condition that moment? See, what condition such moment that you said?
We are talking about Manasikara, and we've heard what we've heard. For some of us, it feels we need to hear more. And Ajahn also hasn't finished. And then you came up with a question. You wanted another question. Ajahn is asking, what conditioned that moment?
That is also kind of attention, manasikara, giving attention to another thought.
Wanting to understand the
Wanting.
other thing.
Yeah.
Attachment, lobha is there with ignorance. That's why avijja and lobha always there. The trap all around each moment. Without understanding the truth that is there, there's no way to have less or eradicate it.
And reminds us about the how much avijja and lobha is there in daily life with all Putthajanas. Before hearing the Dhamma, we have attachment to every sort of thing, but it does not stop after we hear the Dhamma. Avijja and lobha is still there, wanting to understand, hearing something, wanting to understand something else.
When a certain doubt arises and we stop at that particular point and we are not able to move forward in the discussion, getting a clarification for that, is it loba, like what Ajahn just now across?
What can know that? Only understanding, right?
Because our understanding stops at that particular point. We are not able to move forward from that particular point at all, probably because our knowledge is only limited till that point. So getting a clarification there.
He's asking a general question, which happens a lot in discussions, that when we hear something and there's doubt, and we ask a question for clarification. So is that motivated by attachment and ignorance, or what is it? Is it necessary always attachment?
If it's not, what is it?
It is a doubt that has arisen within.
Doubt is doubt. At that moment of doubt, can it be attachment?
It
When
could.
it's still doubt, to be attached or no attachment.
It is a want for knowledge, or it is a want for understanding, because beyond that we will not be able to move forward at all.
So doubt arises with ignorance,
Yes.
not lopa. Later.
So that would be ignorance or not having that particular amount of knowledge, but it is not loba. That is what Ajahn meant.
I mean, doubt is an akusla chetasika, right? So akusla, all akusla must rise with ignorance, and the doubt which is conditioned by, and the chitta conditioned by doubt is rooted in ignorance.
Not having that knowledge is ignorance.
Yes, not having understanding is ignorance. I mean, not always, like seeing is without understanding, but it is not with ignorance. But when it's doubt, then it is definitely with ignorance.
There is limitation in knowledge for everyone. So then how is that ignorance? Like I cannot have the amount of knowledge that Ajahn has, or someone else in this whole discussion has. How is it called ignorance?
Let us consider at moment of doubt, can there be attachment? Can there be aversion when doubt is there?
Yes.
Different moments. Doubt is doubt. To be something to be attached, or aversion is doubt. So doubt arises with citta, which is moha mula citta, rooted by moha only, not rooted by lopa or dosa. Is there manasikara at moment of doubt?
Yes.
So his question is that if someone comes here and asks questions because he is not sure about it, he asks a question. Is that always akusla? Can it also not be with understanding?
What and what is meant by question?
And what is meant by question, asking a question?
It is seeking for more awareness.
Seeking for awareness.
No understanding.
It could be put across like that also, not understanding. I got your point.
I have a doubt. I want to really get this solved, or I want to get answer from Ajahn. So I crave for it. That is also kind of craving. One is ignorance part is there about not knowing about particular knowledge, and also I crave to get solve that question, isn't it?
That's why I commented earlier. Before hearing the Dhamma, we have craving for other things. After hearing the Dhamma, we have craving for knowledge. Craving is craving. It's craving. Huh?
So now a little more understanding about manasikara. Otherwise, there must be doubt again and again about manasikara, and not just only about manasikara, about everything, which is not clear yet. Attention, please. What is it?
Ajahn is just saying, attention. Like you hear your PT teacher saying, attention, right? So she's just saying, attention, please.
So, is attention, please, a reality? And that is manasikara. when one say attention to understand, just attend what is there, understand. So that's the characteristic of achetasika, which attend to any object. Citta, experience it clearly. It's a function of citta. And phassa, just contact. And feeling, just feel. Sanya, just mark and remember. And attention is the reality which attend to the characteristic. So it's very important. Manasikara. Without manasikara, attention. Attend to the word, to the meaning, to the question, to the answer. Without it, there cannot be more understanding or any understanding depending on the stage of understanding. So now we listen to the words of Buddha. It depends on whether attention is wisely or unwisely. That's why there is wise attention, conditioned right understanding. So now it arises with each moment, performing the function of just attending to the characteristic of the object. Without it, no attention to the object.
I'm afraid that we have to wrap up, and be very pleased that you have manasikara all these hours. So attention, and I would like to thank everyone. And at the same time, if you want to continue with Ajahn stay very nearby at the Holiday Inn, you're welcome to walk over. We can discuss it at the lobby, which is quite small, but Ajahn is happy to continue. And if any one of you wants to get into Zoom with Ajahn in English, you can leave the address with me. You can write it in this book, and I will send you the link. And you can get into the discussion. We have one in Thai Hindi on Saturday morning, and in the afternoon it will be in English only. And then on Monday morning, it will be in English only. But on Sunday, there is Chinese English in the morning and Vietnamese English in the morning. It's always English, but only Saturday that sometimes Thai Hindi and sometimes English Hindi. So take your chance. And I hope that our kusala will bring us back together again to discuss Dhamma, and may all your kusala make you developed to attaining in the far future. It can't be in the near future. And thank you very, very much. Yes, Venerable Pante, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, respected Ajahn Sujin and all the team who have come all the way from Thailand, and our Akhilji and Ashaji, and Sukhinderji. It is very, very, as we go deeper and deeper and deeper, it is more, it is becoming more, not just interesting, but beneficial. So you can see the value of teacher and the value of Dhamma Sakacha, Dhamma Savana and Dhamma Sakacha, Lord Buddha has said as Mangalas. So I wish you all the best, and those who are interested, please leave your email address or email address. She can send you the link. So we are very, very grateful to Ajahn, and this is the second time that she visited here, and it was a very profound time for everybody since yesterday. And we wish Ajahn very good health and many more years to come, may Ajahn keep spreading this selfless sharing of Dhamma out of pure compassion. That itself shows the maturity of the Dhamma in Ajahn. So we are grateful. How much you have understood, that is all your great property. If you have not understood, even just sitting in front, listening the words, that already can trigger, that can activate lot of good things, kushala things in your hearts. So we are very grateful. We will conclude with the blessings.
Sabbhitiyo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavatu antarayo sukhi dīghāyuko bhava bhavatu sabbha mangalang rakantu sabbha devata sabbha buddhanubhavena sada soti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabbha mangalang rakkantu sabbha devata sabbha dhammanubhavena sada soti bhavantu te Bhavatu sabbha mangalang rakkantu sabbha devata sabbha sanghanubhavena sada soti bhavantu te Abhivadana silisa nichang buddhapachayino Chataro dhamma vadhanti ayuvanno sukam balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijhatu Sadhu, sadhu.